know in the audience. Some of you are SCAD students as well, and you're in animation, visual effects, motion media, working on the film just like this very soon. And some of you are just here because you want to see some really interesting, cool films tonight. And I just want to open it up for questions for the filmmakers. Does anyone have any questions on any of the pieces you saw, just the process, anything?
This question just kind of goes out to all of you guys. How long do you work on a film until you just call it done?
When that guy told me to stop. You think I'm kidding?
I'd like two more answers. I think 3 answers per question. Yeah, who else would like to? Everyone's got a different process.
Forever. I don't know. Like, I was part of the 10-week class. We did films in 10 weeks. And even after the class was over, we were still working on it just for editing and getting music right and stuff. It's a long process, even when it seems like it's not full.
Yeah, there's a joke that says how many artists does it take to screw in a light bulb? 2, 1 to do it, and 1 to tell them when to stop. Basically, yeah, like she said, a lot of it depends on, obviously, the specs of what you're working on. For ours, one of them we had 10 weeks, and so when the 10 weeks are up, you're pretty much done. But if it's your own personal thing, you kind of have to play it by ear. I mean, there comes a point of diminishing returns where you just, you're just going to hammer on it until it becomes sort of a bland, tasteless paste. And you have to kind of know how to leave some of those rough edges in there because that's what gives it character.
Lay it on.
How many of you guys, was this your first completed film?
I don't remember what it was called, but it was the piece where it just kept going and going and going. What piece was that? Relative. It started off very small and it just kept going.
Relativity. Relativity was by a student named Jeff Weiner. He's not here tonight, is he? He was one of our visual effects students who took a lot of motion media classes and a lot of animation classes. And he did Relativity as his thesis film. In fact, you know what, very quickly, I want to take a few more questions, but let's just very quickly, guys, I want to go down the whole row, and I want you to just introduce yourself very quickly. This is my name, and this is my film. Okay, let's do that.
I'm Yuria Takimoto. The Makeover was my film.
I'm Wendell Whitaker, and Maryland was a film I worked on.
I'm Robbie White, and we worked on Super Awesome Squad.
I'm Mike Betzel, and I also worked on Super Awesome Squad.
Kingsbury, I worked on Maryland.
I'm John McLaughlin and I worked on Your Brain on Lego.
Kyle Parker, and I also worked on Your Brain on Lego.
I'm Travis Overstreet, co-director of Cold Country.
I'm Chris Palmer, co-director of Cold Country.
Evan Curtis, I collaborated on Variable Red and then Chief Serenby and The Dream of Ora Magi.
I'm Micah Critchfield, I made Pixie Sticks.
I'm Siobhan Fitzpatrick and I did Dragost.
Hey, I'm David Howard and I did Life Through Art.
Sia Sparza and I did Veritable Red and Synthesis.
I'm Aaron Burke and I did Synthesis and Noblesse Oblige.
I'm John Michael Kirkconnell. I did Noblesse Oblige and Mix and Match.
I'm David Diaz. I worked on Roots and I made Connection.
I'm Leonel Alvarez. I work on You Complete Me, and I also work in the opening with Jeff and Colin, who left me here to take the shame.
I'm Lan Jiao and my Be With Me.
Also called Phoebe. I'm Elaine. I worked on Root, and so
My name is Matt Phillips, and I also worked on Root.
David Bryant, I made Clowning Around.
I'm Jen Lord, I did Amygdala.
I'm Jennifer Crane, I did Secrets.
I'm Kevin Ridgway, without an E, I did Peach Boy.
I'm Bianca G. I worked on Maryland and did Winding Down.
I'm Ryan Ingram, and I worked on Winding Down.
I'm Damari Sims, and I did My Milieu.
Thank you, guys. In case there are questions about specific films, hopefully that'll help us. So, any other questions?
I guess this question is for everyone. When collaborating on films together, like what is the initial process to get it going?
You definitely need 3 answers on that one, I think.
Usually the first step is just to kind of come up with an idea. For Cold Country, we had like 4. We had to narrow it down to kind of something that we were kind of going for a mixed medium kind of a look. We knew that was what we wanted from the beginning, and then after that, kind of started fleshing out all the stories that we had. We just kind of took the best one that we thought was worth pursuing, and then we went from there.
A very good thing to do when you're collaborating in a group is to figure out who likes to do what and who's best at doing what. And when you're thinking of ideas, you try and work in what everyone's best at, what everyone wants to contribute.
Lots of patience. Not all groups are gonna work fantastically. There are a lot of bumps. I had a lot of bumps. You guys gave me a lot of bumps. I know that it was a lot of work. There was probably a lot of crying at some point. But in the end, it's all worth it. All life experience. And it's really important to make sure you understand your limitations and meet milestones.
We have time for 2 more.
So, now that you've lived through the torture and endless hard work of making a film, how many of you would do it again?
That's okay. What advice can you give someone who hasn't started on a film before, but is just learning the techniques?
Start it.
That's exactly what I was going. We're just started. You'll find out the techniques as you go. That's part of what's great about making a film is, you have a reason to overcome those challenges once you start a film. You have to get something made, you have to get something out, and you know what you have to do, so you do what you have to figure out what you need to do it.
You can think about it forever, but it doesn't mean anything until you do it.
Learn to deal with the fact that you're going to make a ton of mistakes. Ton of them. Because the only way you're going to learn from anything is to screw up. That you up? That's really the best thing. I mean, like Travis said, get started. Don't just go, oh, wait, I should wait to do this, or I want to do this first. Don't. Just get started. Because you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to figure it out along the way, and ask a lot of questions. Like, there's tons of people know a whole lot more than so ask the questions, ask your professors, ask your students, and if you meet a random artist at some gathering somewhere, ask them how to do it. Chances are, if they don't know, they will know somebody else who will, and then that's how you're going to learn.
I would say that you probably want to choose a topic for your film that you're passionate about and that you won't get sick of working on, because usually you spend every waking hour of the day thinking about it and working on it. So try to get yourself involved with something that you know you're not going to get sick of. You're going to get sick of it anyways.
One more question, I think. One more question.
Guys, I just had a quick question about, sound is a huge part of all of these, and, I've really been struggling with figuring out a way to incorporate sound into my film. What was that process like for you guys?
A couple of people should answer that, because there are a lot of different sound in these, I know.
Personally, I'm awful at film, so I just found someone that was really good at it, and we kind of traded tasks. So I did something for him, he did something for me, and we had like a mutual kind of agreement for that.
Yeah, you can do that and find someone who's really good at it. I personally love doing sound, because that's really where your film comes to life. And I use a mixture of sound effect libraries, but I almost always combine them with my own sound effects so that you're not just taking it strictly from a library, because to an audience member who watches a lot of films, they'll recognize that, they'll know a sound effect when it's just by itself and if it came from a library, so it's always good to just do it yourself. And it's the most fun to make sound effects, because what sound you think it is, it has nothing to do with that when you're actually making that sound. So that's the most fun.
If you're trying to figure out just what kind of sound you're going for with the project, the best thing you can do is just listen. Listen to your surroundings, listen to the action that you're animating, or you've got your film, and figure out how selective you want to be. Do you want the creak in the floorboard to play a part, or do you want it to just be monologuing? It all depends on what you want the film to emphasize through sound. Sound is one of the most powerful narrative tools you can use.
Well, guys, thank you very much for coming out tonight.